you smacking her ass trying to be funny. She said, I guess we're gonna have 2 minutes tonight again. You don't want that energy. What's good, everybody? It's your boy Brian Scott, aka the 9 to 5 actor, and here on today's video we're gonna talk about how to date once you are in your 30s. Okay, now y'all about to be 40, you feel me? That's why you're watching this video, you know what I mean? And in your 20s, maybe you was just having fun, but now you start to realize for yourself, you're getting them finances together, right? You done cut out a bunch of that riffraff, and then you looking for something long term. But the question is, how exactly do you know how to start maneuvering from that little boy mentality to that grown man mentality where you can have something long term? But no worries, because I'm here to help you out with that today. So if you end up enjoying this video, man, hit that like button, comment your thoughts below. You in those 30s and you getting into this dating game, you trying to figure it out. I'm always intrigued, man. Subscribe below and let's get right into it. So one of the first things we want to answer for ourselves is, what is your salary cap, right, for dating? And I believe this is really important because you need to understand, when you look at your finances, when you break everything down, when you see all your bills are paid, when you see the money you're taking for yourself, the money you're going to invest, what do you have left over in your fund money that you are willing to spend on dating? All right. And this is important because a lot of times as a man, you go for certain types of women that potentially are out of your dating budget. Now we come back to that beginning point of that entitlement a woman can have that you can't. Remember, a woman cannot have a job and still get themselves a 6-figure, 7-figure man, right? We don't have that luxury. And so when you are deciding to date, you need to recognize to yourself, okay, this is, let's say your budget is $500 a month. Then I mean this in the most respectful way possible. You need to look for a woman that will be happy dating you within that budget. You need to verbally say it out loud because there's actually a lot you can do for $500 a month when it comes to dating. And if you're already on your grind, it's no way you can be going on 4 dates like a week. So you should be fine with that, but you need to figure that out. Because then if you try to go for a woman that's more in the $2,000 a month range, where she wants to eat at the top of the top type of restaurants, and when you go on activities, she wants the best experience. Or if you take her to a concert, she wants front row, and you can't afford it, you will go broke trying to keep her happy, which in the end won't make you happy. So you need to figure out your salary cap and date within your budget. And there's nothing wrong with that. I promise you all, if we just want to choose attractiveness, there are women who are absolutely gorgeous who you can date within $500 a month, just as there are women that are gorgeous you could date within $10,000 a month. And so I don't want you all to think that I'm saying that a person looks some type of way because of that, but you do need to figure out, does your dating budget work for the type of woman that you are trying to get or you are pursuing? Really important. And I know people struggle with this one, but I'm about to give y'all the advice of the year. Reciprocation is key. You should be investing in them as much as they are investing in you. All right. Now, as the man, you should definitely take the lead, but not to a point where you are struggling to keep their attention. Okay. And the reason why reciprocation is so important is because you just chasing forever is not fun. Right? And I know there's been this thing pushed to society that women really push on men more than anything, but men, we already know on our own how we really feel about this. And it is the whole, like, men are supposed to chase and women are supposed to be caught. Look, that is just fun for maybe like a week. And then after that, it's like, all right, bro, this is taking too much work. And so one of the things I would tell you all is, when you have finally met the person and y'all are clicking and y'all are vibing, what is she doing to show you that she's investing in you as well? Okay. And the reason why that is so important is because that is why a lot of men are replaceable. All right. Because just think about it. And maybe you've been in this situation. You've been dating a woman for 6 months, right? But you're paying for everything. You're planning all the dates. You're the one always reaching out. She reaches out maybe once or twice, but you're the one always just taking that lead, right? That means that at any point when they decide to just stop talking to you, they literally didn't lose anything, right? And some people can sit back and say, no, they lost their time. You lost your time, but you also lost your money and you lost your energy and all the effort, right? If all they do is showing up just looking good on dates, that ain't gonna be good enough for the long run of life, right? So I'm giving y'all some serious game now, okay? If it is just a one night stand, or somebody who you're just trying to smash off a couple times, okay. But remember, this video is about you actually looking for something long term. And so one of the things you want to pay attention to is, are they investing back in you? And yes, women do that if they are seriously interested in you as well, okay? Like, I can give you all a story. I went on a date, we'll say 3-4 months ago, right? And then I took care of everything, and we went on we went to get food, and then we went to a bar after that, right? And after, they literally ended up being like, hey, would you like to go to brunch? It's on me, by the way. And then they took me to brunch, and then I did something else, and then they did something else. It doesn't even need to go in that order, but the point was, from the beginning, they were already reciprocating that energy to show, no, I'm equally as interested, and I'm equally as interested in investing in you. So now you all just feel so good together because nobody's overthinking anything, or nobody's feeling like this is a creditor-debitor relationship. And now, if one of us decided to just stop talking to each other and separate, then it's like, okay, well, we both invested and we both lost in this. And it feels so much different knowing that both parties are actually wanting to see how far this can go and putting that time, energy, effort, finances into it, okay? So reciprocation is key. Next up, my first date advice, okay? So you should definitely pay for it. Let's just cover that right now. You should take the lead in planning it. But my recommendation is do an activity and do food, right? Because you want to be able to separate yourself from all the other guys who just take them out to just eat or something, right? And I know I don't use dating apps, so I'm gonna go off the apps when some of my friends tell me they use those, my women friends, and they be saying, the guy be like, oh, let's grab coffee or let's go on a walk. All right, y'all, that at this age and stage, your 30s, we got to cancel that out. The whole coffee thing is cool, it's fun, but you need to also show that you are a man that can hold it down, right? And that you can actually plan bigger than that, because anyone can do coffee, okay? So what I mean by activities, you can do pool, you can do a karaoke spot, you can do bowling, you can do darts. How they got the bars with the darts and pool and stuff like that. Like, plan dinner and then a nice little activity after that. And if the person, imagine this, and some people be like, well, I don't want to overplan because what if I don't even like the person? Why are you even going out with the person if you don't think it's going to be a vibe, right? And if the woman is even giving you pushback, she said, oh, I'm open to dinner, but I don't know about the activity. Me, I ain't going out with her. I'm gonna just say it straight up, because that would mean to me that either we need to talk more and communicate more to get to a place to where we actually on that same wavelength. Right now, remember that I also meet people in person. I don't meet people on dating apps, and so I know that interaction could be different. But let's just pretend though it was a dating app, then you would need to FaceTime me a couple times before we went out to build that comfort to be able to do it, because I want to be able to spend enough time with you on the first date to where not only do I want to fill you out over dinner with an intellectual conversation, but I want to be able to do an activity with you so we can just have some fun and I can see how you operate in those environments. And so, fellas, definitely plan like that, and that's not even expensive, right? Like if you went to an earlier lunch spot, that might cost you what, 40-50 bucks, and then you go to play pool or something at the bar, right? Or just found a pool, so that's $15. That's 65-70 bucks for one date. And I'm not saying it always got to be like that, but that allows you to cover some ground and spend some time with them and get to have some deeper conversations. And then, hey, you also never know how the night will go, right? My next piece of advice, take it slow, okay? I don't mean when it comes to sex, all right? Because I know a lot of people are like, oh, you wilding out, bro. No, that's not what I mean. What I mean is with certain conversations, right? Now, if politics is something that's just something you talk about all the time, okay, you can address it on the first date. Please don't go too deep into it, right? If you care about, if you're a person of the people and you want to talk racism, okay, do that, right? But me, keep all that stuff out of the beginning. It's way too soon for all the kids. You should not, I mean, well, if you got kids, of course you got to talk about that. But like, if you don't have kids, y'all should not be talking about having kids together and all these other things. Like, you're not even that far along. Take it slow. Get to know the person. Enjoy y'all time together, right? 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, that's not enough time to make someone your girlfriend and think you're going to spend the rest of your life with them. And I get it. A lot of times, you could be in a situation where you ain't had intimacy for a long time. You ain't had somebody care for you for a long time, especially men. A lot of women don't even know men go through this. Like, you just haven't even had that connection with somebody, and so you finally get it and you're like, oh my God, I've been longing for this, I've been wanting this, and you try to just move too fast because your brain is like, I don't want to lose this, right? But at the end of the day, you need to take it slow. You need to get to know this person. You need to understand that more and more layers are going to come out over time as they start to get comfortable. And the last thing you want to do is think that you fully committed to somebody to 3 months, and then in a year it turns around and falls apart because there was just something that you didn't cover in the beginning, but you over invested too soon. I actually got a story for y'all. I had a friend reach out to me last week. Their girlfriend just broke up with them after a year and a half, and they told me the story on everything that happened. And I was like, okay, I'm not a psychic, so I can't exactly say this, but overall what happened was they ended up getting injured, and they said he told their partner they did not need any help being taken care of and they would be fine, but the partner just felt some type of obligation because they've been together for a year to take care of them. And like, my friend couldn't move around the house for like 3 weeks, and the partner was there just helping them and just assisting and stuff. And then a little bit after that, she just stopped talking to him, right? And I asked him, I said, throughout that year, had she ever been put in a situation to actually have to take care of you, or was it always just for fun? And he thought, he's like, yo, it's always just been fun. That's the first time where it really was like some obligation to being a girlfriend. And I was like, what did she say when she broke up? She was like, yo, just committing to somebody right now, I just don't think I'm ready for that. And I was like, it could be other things. But I said, that is a great example of someone now seeing what it feels like to really just be there and take care of somebody, and the energy and effort that takes when you decide that you want to spend the rest of your life with somebody. And that could give people cold feet. So you want to take it slow because you want to really get to know a person. You want to go through some ish before you turn around and think that this is your end all be all, right? That honeymoon phase, it could go for a year, as you all just saw with my story. And I'm not saying that, because I know a lot of times people feel like, well, I can't date them for a year without making it official. Yes, you can, first of all. But you want to like definitely make sure that y'all like go through some things to be able to build up a little bit more trust, have stronger communication, right? So that way when you all get to that moment after a year, after 2 years, you can actually be able to work through it together and not just instantly drop each other because it's not perfect anymore. Got me? My next piece of advice is no one is perfect for you. Now, a lot of us have this checklist of, oh, I want this, I want this, I want this, I want this, I want this out of a woman, right? And when you meet a person, you expect this to happen. That is not how it works. You actually, yes, a person could come checking off some of those boxes for you, but you actually need to build those things up with the person. You need to teach a person how to like you and how to love you, okay? And a lot of times, something I see men falling short on is feeling like this woman should come to the table like this. But a lot of times, they can get there, but they do need to be built up. They need to learn. And you need to understand that their previous experiences before you aren't the same. And so they have to learn how to love you. And yes, I can make that about women too, because they need to do the same, but this isn't about women, it's about men. And so let's make sure, fellas, that we understand what we like, but you also need to build a person up to get to that place to be able to connect with you in that level. Now, if you notice that this is something you like and they don't want to build up to that, then you have to make a decision for yourself of how important is that on your checklist box, because no one is perfect. And so these are things you got to think about. You can have a checklist. That's okay. I'm not saying you don't. But remember, you got to build a person up to that. Remember, they're not going to check everything off the box because they aren't perfect. And so you aren't perfect either, if I need to throw that out there. So just remember this when you are dating and trying to get to know somebody long term. This next piece of advice I think is so important to do. And if you all do it, it'll save you so much time and energy. And it's to only date one person at a time. Okay? Again, you can't worry about what the woman is doing, right? But if you are dating multiple people at a time, you are spreading your energy so thin that you can't even focus on the individual that you're trying to get to know. You got me? And so if you are doing that, then how do you even know it's worth your time? And then secondly, if you are dating like 2-3 people at once, what are you doing with your time? Like, how much free time do you have that all you do is work and then go on dates and spend time with people, right? We're in our 30s now. We can't be wasting time like that, right? And so get to only date one person at once and get to know them one at a time. Now, for me, I actually do ask women if I'm talking to them, are they talking to anybody else? If they are, then I won't talk to them. And I'm okay with that though. Like, that's a standard I set for myself. And I know some people are like, but bro, that's BS. All women are talking to somebody at a time. But that's also not true. And once you learn that, it's one of the craziest things I think you'll learn as a man. The more experience you got, the more women you meet, that there are so many women, beautiful, on their ish, who aren't talking to a soul right now. Right? Aren't dealing with nobody, got no side piece, got no nothing. The same way how men can be in that situation, women can too. And so my advice is to only date one person at a time, get to know them, give them your energy, give them your effort. If it doesn't work out, that's okay. And then you can go and start dating other people, right? And so definitely apply that and watch how much things start to change for you. This next one, I don't want anyone to fall short on, and it is to communicate early and often. And I don't mean just communication about how's your day going and getting people to open up. What you want to do is have the environment with the woman that you're talking to become psychologically safe, right? I'll use an example of work, okay? You all know how at work you can have a manager and maybe they just aren't doing something that you like, but you're scared to absolute death to give them feedback because of the point that you feel like it'll be a target on your back and you might get fired, right? You can't have that be within your relationship, right? A lot of people think communication and psychological safety are the same thing, and they're not. You have to work on all of these little things, because once a woman feels psychologically safe to have any type of conversations with you, because rebuttals aren't arguments, they're just opinions being conversed, and now we're trying to find, can we find a median ground? Are you just staying over there and I'm staying over here? Do you want to die on that hill of your opinions? You got to figure those things out. And to be able to do that, it needs to be a psychologically safe environment. And the sooner you get there, let me tell you all, the longer your relationship will work. Because then someone will be able to say to you, hey, I'm just not happy right now with this. And instead of just saying that and leaving you, you're like, what the hell? Well, what could I have done better? They don't even know how to explain it to you because you never set that standard to make it psychologically safe to communicate all your thoughts and opinions. But when the woman can say, I'm just not happy anymore because we used to date when we first started talking, but now all we do is Netflix and chill, and I still like you, but I want to go back to dating, and I want to go out to looking good and feeling good, you know, out and about with you and not just enclosed in this environment. And that's totally different, because now we're going to spin to my next point, because this is something you can actually fix. A minimum of 2 dates a month. I know we're busy. Listen, I'm speaking on my own life. I got a 9-to-5 job. I am working to be an entrepreneur in acting and in content creation, as you all see. I don't have 4 days a week to give up to a woman. It's just a fact. That's just not how my life is structured, right? And with that being said, though, I do know at minimum we should be doing 2 dates a month, because there may be one week where I had a really busy week and now they come over and we kick in, we spend time together. Maybe they can cook, so they'll cook up dinner and then we'll still kick it, watch a couple shows together and all this other thing. You know, still talk, have deep chats and everything. And we still could talk throughout the week, but just talking about going out or hanging out, right? And then you got that component. But then that following week, we got to be able to do something. We got to go out. We got to just have fun. Even if it's something simple like going to a museum together. Even if it's something simple like going on a hike together. Even if it's a movies, you have to continue dating. At no point throughout your longevity of your relationship should you ever drop down to less than 2 dates a month minimum. All right, you can do more, and you could even add on how I would do it to make it even better for you is I would compile it. So on those days where you decide it's a date day, now let's do more than one thing in one day. Let's take her to a brunch spot and to a museum. You see what I'm saying? Let's go to play pool, I don't know, and then women just love food, and then go to a happy hour. So learn to even compile those together, but a minimum of 2 dates a month, and you should never fall below that number, all right? Never, under any condition, okay? Unless you run into true financial hardship and you can't just do nothing, but then figure something out, all right? Because, well, I guess if you're also in financial hardship, you shouldn't be dating. So 2 minimum a month. And for my last point, and probably one of my most important, and I know a lot of people don't think it's that important because a woman will say it is not, and it is. Listen to me, y'all. I have more women friends than men, and this is things that we talk about. And so it is to make sure you are good in bed. Okay? You all have to understand how important sex is to a relationship, and the intimacy and that energy that you all are sharing with each other. And when they're out and about, or they're by themselves thinking on their own, and they're just having those horny moments, same as you want them to be thinking about you and how you satisfy them. Okay, so you need to be good in bed. You need to learn how to eat vagina. Okay, I am telling you, you need to learn how to do it good to where they can get an orgasm, right, from you giving them head. You need to not be coming early anytime you're having sex, okay? If you're coming early, you got to know when to stop, to give yourself a breather, to go back in, to stop. I don't care if you got to stop 30 times to start building up that muscle to where that sensitivity drops, but you got to get it right, okay? One of the top reasons why women end up cheating on their man is just because they are not satisfied sexually, not financially, not emotionally, not spiritually. It is just that physical intimacy of getting that orgasm with their partner. They are not having it, and that is why they end up going around and experiencing other things without actually leaving you, because they love you and care about you, but they're just not satisfied sexually. And so you need to be able to do that for your woman, okay? The same that she's able to do that for you, you need to be able to do it, okay? Now, I prioritize this as very, very important, okay? And as a man, it's also gonna make you feel good that when you're out with your woman and she's thinking to herself while y'all at that bar having drinks, laughing, or she's dancing on you, or y'all just having a good time, or you smacking her ass and she like, yeah, my man lays it down. Not you smacking her ass trying to be funny. She like, I guess we're gonna have 2 minutes tonight again. You don't want that energy. Do y'all feel me? because that is just not gonna give the right vibe to the whole entire thing. All right, so this was my advice for everybody who is starting to date that is in their 30s, man. I know this was a little bit of a long video, but I got everything off my chest that I feel like will be able to help you. Am I able to cover everything? No, but I believe if you prioritize these tips, it'll definitely take you in the right direction of having a long and fulfilling relationship. Hit that like button, comment your thoughts. Which point that I mentioned for you that stood out that you already do, or something that you want to work on? I would love to hear about it. Hit that subscribe button, and I'll see everybody at the top.